Why do the globalists enjoy throughout history, the initiated ones, the Illuminati priest class? Why do they love destroying their own, even servants that serve them perfectly? I mean, is it just part of a process of killing anybody who knows where the bodies are buried?
It's partly that too. It's partly that remember, they are an ultra elite, and they've a completely different upbringing, a completely different education than those that go to even Harvard. And I can remember Orwell put part of the initiation of the so-called Illuminati, or the rebel force, in his book, 1984. And part of it was that you had to swear that if it was necessary to sacrifice you for the cause, they would sacrifice you, and you had to accept that one day they might just sacrifice you. Throw you to the wolves, and they have no problem doing that. And you must remember too that Julian Huxley, who was umpteenth generation inbred for his purpose, because they were already especially breeding.
Now, he was the head of the UNESCO dehumanization program.
Yeah, he admitted that he was there were offspring of scientific elite, and he was one of them. That was his family's role. And
yeah, most of the children died, but he and his brother were the only genetic expression. Yeah,
and he did say that lots will think they're fit to come through into this new world order as a servant class who have served them very well, but they're in. Big surprise. They will eliminate them too. They will no longer need them. And apart from that, they'll know too much. They'll know too much. And when they don't get the proper rewards that they thought they would get, like they will not be living in these specially rural, gated, high-class communities. They'd be bitching, they'd open their mouths, they'd let the cat out of the bag, and they'd be a problem. They'd have to be eliminated. And
I hope they're listening, because the New World Order can't wait to torture you to death. So all of you out there thinking you're on the winning team, you lose. The only way we beat this is by defeating it. Alan Watt, let's talk about solutions, your idea straight ahead. A few more segments with Alan Watt. Always appreciate it. We'll give you his website as well. Just amazing information. I'm Alex Jones. Don't forget the new search term, Maryland Stage Terror. Going back to Alan Watt. Alan, they're not invincible. They don't have all the answers. And I think one of the biggest keys, as you just alluded to, is reaching out to the super class that Rothkopf called it, 6,000 super gophers, and really, and I've talked to some billionaires, I've talked to people, medical doctors that have treated heads of state. They will even confide in them that they're depressed about this, but kind of through fear going along. Just because they're raised into this, a lot of them don't like it. And I think reaching out to them to resist and to speak out, I think that's a really important thing to do as we near this mass extermination program. What's your view on that?
It's difficult to get through them. I understand the concept, but they've had a lifetime of this indoctrination, and they still cling. They'll still cling to the hope that they'll be the ones living in the more expensive, gated communities, well-armed, well-defended, well-fed, with the extra privilege. See, this world is to be a world of privileges, you understand? And every tier gets extra privileges. Even the cops get extra privileges.
No, that's what Nick Rockefeller, it's an artificial state-run class system. Nick Rockefeller told Aaron Russo that the elite are all going to have chips that say, kiss my hind end.
Mm-hmm. And as I say, too, they'll have to, and they do, they have to work till they drop, the elite as well. They don't retire, as you well know. They've sworn on for life and they don't get a break. They must go along and along and along with everything and never give a slip of the tongue. It's hard for them to do that, even at parties, etc., because that means an instant death sentence or a cut off from the food supply, or you get bunged in with the peasants. But there'll be the cities themselves, as you well know, are getting set up to be the prison camps as they take us down. They haven't upgraded these cities. They don't intend to upgrade them. They've let the roads rot for the last 30-odd years in preparation for this. And it's for rapid depopulation. They hope to depopulate rapidly over the next 50 years. And Rockefeller said that at the last meeting of what they call the Lucky Gene Club, where Oprah and Gates and all these guys go. He said, well, we've been very successful with sterilization and so on across the world, but now we must go into rapid depopulation. That means getting everyone off the land into these cities that are falling apart. And there'll be other ones put up, special ones for the managerial class to have their extra privileges, their better lifestyle for a while.
New York, 1997. The entire city is a walled maximum security prison. The bridges are mined. The rivers are patrolled. And the United States police force has everything under control.
Well, you see, they're quite right. I read an article recently where some of the top politicians said that for everything that they do, and for everything that they put forward, and plans and rules and laws, the public must accept them and acquiesce. They need our approval, our tacit approval, and silence, it really connotes your approval. And without that, they can't do anything, to be honest with you. If enough people simply said, and they could, but the problem is getting them to do it. No, we're not going along with this. We're not going along with this or that or whatever. We're boycotting all your airports, yada, yada, yada. That could so easily be done, but you cannot get the public to come together in this day and age. They're so divided. That's your problem. It could be done. But for every totalitarian measure that comes out, you can simply say no. That's it. It will take martyrs. There's never been a change in history to get out of under the boots of tyranny that did not take martyrs going to prison for saying, no, I'm not going along with that. You're not going to do this in some nice hygienic way, believe you me. It's not going to happen. And it's not going to happen by pleading with them either, because these guys have got too much to look forward to. They've been planning for hundreds of years. They don't plan to change it and turn around and be nice to us. These are monsters at the top who literally see, like H.G. Wells, he knew darn well about the killing of millions in Russia and the Ukraine with the Soviets, and he thought it was a good thing. He saw the same thing coming across the Western world towards the end of the millennium into the new. He says, well, they'd have to kill off millions and millions of young people as well, because they're all fertile, basically, and that would simply have to be done, very matter-of-factly. These guys are monsters, and but at the same time, for every law, and the minor laws, too, that they put out to tax you, and carbon taxes and all the rest of it, you must say, okay, and when you sign that tax form, you're acquiescing to them. And that's pretty well all you have left at the moment, is to change yourself and say, no, okay, I'll suffer and take the consequences. And with enough people locked up as martyrs, that's how Ireland helped to free itself too, with all the thousands of people getting slammed in these prisons during the Troubles. And
notice, though, Alan, that how they tried to pass the EU the first time, then they passed it the second time. Ireland was this panacea of great, wealth, and then overnight, oh, you're bankrupt now. Foreign bankers are taking you over. And the head of their central bank admitted, he said, foreigners now rule us. I think that's good. I mean, so in your face.
Well, the Russian mafia moved in on block. A whole lot of them, a lot to L.A., and the rest ran off to places in Europe. But Ireland was a big place because they were getting lots of grants from the EU. And, of course, the mafia was in there like a shot. And when the Russian mafia accumulated all the dirty deeds and fake bonds and all the rest of it, they ran off with the loot and helped bankrupt the country. That was all set up in advance because the Russian mafia works with the globalists, you see.